Let's start with Saturday and nowhere else really to start. How much are you looking forward to the game being a local derby and everything that it means?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Obviously, makes for a much better game. I think when you take a big away following coming into the ground, and that it creates a great buzz around the game, and that, and the atmosphere obviously steps up. So I think for us as players, we obviously know how important every game is for us at the minute. I think when we came, I think it was 16 or 17 games left, so it was trying to win as many of them as possible to give ourselves the best possible chance of, getting out of the relegation zone. And at the minute, we've picked up a few points that probably people didn't expect us to, and kind of closed the gap already. So I think for us, it's the games can't come fast enough at the minute with a little bit of form that we've picked up in the last two games.
I'm sure you've played in many local derbies, especially in the West Midlands. What makes them so special? How much is the extra edge exciting?
Yeah, it's great. Listen, obviously there's a lot at stake this weekend where Mansfield are in the league and ourselves, and any derby, these are the games you want to play in as a player. They're always, the buzz around the place for a week leading up to the game, and as I say again, it's big followings and that everybody wants to play in them. So it's important for us as players. We know how important every game is, but obviously as well with that, with being so close to each other, it's bragging rights as well for fans. So you carry that extra bit as a player, I think, as well.
In any way, is a derby a distraction because of the position you're in, or is it just really irrelevant?
I think for us, it's not another game, obviously, because we know what it means to the fans and things like that. But I just think for us as players, with the way we are at the minute, we're just focused on every game that comes, and we're not building this game up as big as any other. You've seen it a couple of weeks ago when Lincoln came. It was very similar to what we're going to get Saturday, a big crowd, and that's not too far away either. So we know it's going to be sort of that environment again of what we played against Lincoln, and hopefully, yeah.
Preparations underway.
We can, get the result again that, puts us in an even better position.
One sec, I'll ring in.
It's okay. Do you know Neil Bishop well at all, or not?
I've played against him, he's obviously played here. I played against him when he was here, and at Scunthorpe. Neil, yeah, he's a good player, and again, I'm sure he's doing a good job for them.
How important do you think that midfield battle might be?
Yeah, I think every position over the pitch, it's going to be a battle. It always is, and we're going okay at the minute, as I say, myself and Jim and people like that. It's going okay, but I think the most important thing for us is just focusing on our own performances, not be worrying about individuals, and worrying about what we can bring to our team, and making sure the players that are going to win us the games, we put them in positions to go and get them opportunities to do that.
Been a really good turnaround in results in the last few weeks. How much has that improved morale within the room, do you think?
Yeah, I think, myself personally, since I've come in, I think there's a lot of fresh faces the manager's brought in, and it was an important time, January, and I obviously come in on the last day, and it was just, there was straight into build up towards a Lincoln game, a new team, but the manager got his ideas and his plans across, and we carried them out on the day. And I think I hadn't seen what had really, any games before. I'd obviously seen highlights, but you just felt in that Lincoln game we looked solid, we looked strong, and we looked organised, and we had threats, and I feel like things have changed. There's obviously a lot of lads here that have been here over a number of years, and they've had a tough time this year, and it's hard as a player when you're in that situation, when you can't win a game and fans are kind of disgruntled and things like that. And hopefully people like ourselves have come in and kind of picked it up, because there's some good lads in that dressing room, and you don't become a bad player overnight. They've just had a tough time, and there's a lot of good players that were here last year, and I think they proved it with the position they got themselves into in the league. They won the best teams in the league last year, so it's just nice, hopefully, for a lot of us players to come in and maybe take a little bit of pressure off them, hopefully, and being able to help us to get into a better position.
Lovely, it's good for me, thank you.
Michael, your partnership with Jim O'Brien, talk to me about that, because you two seem to have fitted in seamlessly together. You look like you've been playing there years.
Yeah, listen, I think we both have a good understanding straight away, and we're both experienced players, but I think we both recognise what each other can do. We're both good talkers on the pitch, I think, so we can communicate a lot. We can get people around us helping us as well. So I think I've really enjoyed playing with Jim at the minute, and as I say, it's only been 2 games, but hopefully that's something that we can keep building on, that partnership, and becoming even stronger, you know.
Speaking to Neil Ardley after the game last weekend, he said that you and Jim were brought in to help the younger centre halves. Is that something you can just explain for us a little bit more?
Yeah, obviously with the 2 lads, they're young, and it's probably their first real spells of playing regular first team football. It's obviously different to under 23s, but it's, you know, as I say, obviously as experienced players, you want to help all the players around you, but obviously them 2 in particular, as I say, it's their first real spell of playing regular football, but I think they've been brilliant, you know, the first 2 games since I've played, and the one thing for me with them is they're constantly talking to you in front, which is a massive help as a midfielder, because they're just telling you what's around you, because obviously you can't see everything on the pitch, when, you know, left, right, little things like that, and which is, it's really, I think as young players, that's one thing that they find really hard to do, is have a voice and being able to talk. So I think for myself personally, you know, I've noticed that with the 2 young lads, is that they've got that voice, you know, which is massive. They can direct people around the pitch where they want them and help them, and it makes my job a lot easier, to be honest with you, when you have that as well. So I think it's important with the 2 players, is just, you know, keeping their feet on the ground and not, you know, getting too high and too low, because the one thing with young players, I think, is that consistency, because sometimes when they get really good press and things like that, you can come away from what you've been good at and you can get caught out. So, you know, the 2 of them seem really level-headed as well and want to improve every week, which is great.
And we spoke to NJ Baldwin last week, and he said that you've been in his ear. He said you've been in his ear a lot, trying to help him learn the position.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, Enzo's everybody see what he's like, a bit of a freak of nature. The size of him, he's athletic. He's like everything you want in a footballer, to be honest with you, and he's got brilliant ability. You know, obviously he's playing on my side of the pitch, so it's again, keep talking to him, but just in a positive way, to be honest with you. You know, everything's positive, and the one thing I've sort of, you know, since I've come in, is for me with Enzo and Louis and people like that, saying to them that the first thing I sort of saw in the Lincoln game was, if they took a bit more responsibility in the final third, and that's not being disrespectful, I just sort of felt like, I know the situation we're in, and people like yourselves, you're going to have to take chances, you're going to have to take shots and put crosses in when you're looking to pass the ball at times. Just be a bit selfish, because that's what's going to win us games, is by, you know, stepping up and trying to have a shot when other people are calling for the ball or putting a cross in, and there's you know, just, they have to go and express themselves. And it's, you know, I sort of, from my position I play, and I could probably have 40 passes and majority of them will come off, you know, but in their position they probably have the ball 40 times in the final third. We only need 1 or 2 of them to come off, and you see it last Saturday. That's the difference, you know. It's just go and make mistakes, really, is what, you know, my message to the likes of him is take the game and see what it gives you.
How much have you enjoyed being here in the last 2 weeks? Because the fans have really taken to you as well. I mean, you've already got a song for it.
Yeah, listen, I've really enjoyed it, you know. As I say, it was a tough decision. I wasn't too sure if it was going to happen or not, to be honest with you. I wasn't too sure if that's what I wanted. It was a bit of a head and a heart moment when I came to thinking, right, you know, it was tough one, you know. I was obviously at somewhere over a spell, a good long time, and I was thinking, you know, I don't know if I wanted to go, but I think once I made that decision, it was just right, all in. And with the performances as well, the way the manager and that have treated me, the way the sort of fans and that have sort of taken to me, it's just been seamless, really, to be honest with you. And it's, you know, straight from that Lincoln game, thought, great. I just felt I had that spark back in me, you know. I just thought, yeah, this is great, you know. Another,
to fight for,
yeah, but it just felt like I kind of lost a little bit of a spark probably at Coventry the last while, and it just sort of give me that, yeah, this is, you know, glad I made this decision of playing again regular and being in the hustle and bustle of the mix of football again, you know, having a meaning on a Saturday of playing and coming off with knocks and thinking I've missed that feeling, you know. It's like, it's your body gets used to not taking the hits, and it was like, I had a dead leg for about a week after that Lincoln game and no one even touched me, and I thought, it's just like your body getting used to the contact again. It was great. And as I say, I just feel like, even today, I just feel like I'm getting that match fitness again, because I hadn't played for like 8 weeks, and you know, I hadn't played for a long time. I'd picked up an injury in between as well, so I just feel like now I'm kind of getting back to that where I want to be. You know, I think, you know, Saturday hopefully I feel I've got that match fitness now, and I can, you know, hopefully bring a bit more to the team.
Before you came in, did you have a preconceived idea about the quality of the squad, or has it come in and surprised you even more?
Obviously, I knew what was here last year from playing against them the last couple of years. It was always quite a tough place to come, and good players, and you obviously see the names that the manager was signing as well, and you know, I knew what the manager's ideas were. I spoke to him quite a bit over January, and what he wanted to do, so I knew what I was coming into, you know, and you know, for me, I just sort of set it out there. It's one of these clubs, you just feel like it's ready to go, but you just feel like now it's just important we get these wins, whatever we need to win, and try and get ourselves as safe as quick as possible, and hopefully then we can start building towards next year, you know, to be honest with you.
Brilliant, mate, thank you.
Cool. Sorry if we go over a couple of bits that we've already mentioned.
Yeah.
But in terms of since you signed for the club, of course, it's been a couple of weeks to the day since deadline day. Did you ever expect that you'd settle in as quickly as you have done?
Well, to be honest with you, I was hoping I would, to be honest with you, because obviously we knew that we didn't have time to settle in. It was come in and hit the ground running, because I was aware of what wins and all we needed to try and give ourselves the best possible opportunity. So it wasn't a case of gonna have to come in here and take 3 or 4 weeks to settle in, because if that was the case, you could be dead and buried by then. So it was important you just came in, and from the first minute was just got amongst the lads, and you know, the manager made it clear what he wanted from me, and hopefully sort of brought that in so far. So yeah.
Did that bring a bit of added pressure having to hit the ground running?
I think the pressure was the position that we were in, to be honest with you. We're eight points from safety, and we'd only won a few games all year, so I knew what I was walking into, and you know, it was obviously I knew I was putting myself into a pressured situation, but as I said when I sort of came here, I feel that sometimes I can be at my best in them situations, you know, and there's something all to play for, so hopefully can keep it going, and as again, I think it's important to keep our feet in the ground and realise where we are, because there's been a lot of positivity the last couple of weeks with results, but we ain't the team that's top of the table, you know. We need to keep our feet in the ground, keep building and keep driving along and doing what we're doing, because I think if we go anywhere away from that, we'll find ourselves back to square one, chasing people, you know. We've got ourselves in a great position, closing the gap, I think, to 4 points already, so I think it's important we just stay really focused as a team and keep our feet in the ground, you know.
And has that been the focus across the whole of the dressing room as well?
Well, I just think we're, again, just, you know, lads are sort of enjoying the football. I think the lads that have come in, and you just let them keep doing what they're doing, and there's no need to sort of rein them in, you know, in a sense. Just let them keep doing what they're doing. They seem to be playing with a bit of energy and a buzz, which is great. So it's I think it's important for people like the experienced players just to be aware, and you know, obviously help these people when they need it, you know.
Of course, there was a lot of change in January, including yourself. Do you feel as though the club needed that bit of a breath of fresh air almost?
Well, it's not really for me to say, but I think, like, obviously it's a long season in football, and confidence was obviously knocked, and you know, the frustrations as a player. I've been in situations yourself where the frustration from the terraces can come onto the pitch, and it affects people different ways. You're either a strong character and able to take that on your shoulders and think I'll show you, or you can kind of go under at times. And I don't know, with the lads, it's very intimidating at times when things aren't going well. But I think the place probably needed, you know, there's been a lot of change with managers this year, and I think the fact that Gaffer had been in this situation before with Wimbledon when he took the job, he obviously knew what he needed and what he was looking for, and he obviously felt he had to bring people in to do that. So I think it has helped so far.
From your perspective, what's it like working under Neil Adley?
Yeah, I've loved it, to be honest with you. Been great. It's he's very, very fair and honest man, but he knows what he wants, you know. And I think probably part of the reason why we won the game down at Forest Green last week was obviously it was down, like, you know, personally I was really impressed because the Gaffer set us out and the way he was wanting us to press straight from the front up on the goalkeeper, which is quite a brave thing to do when you're bottom of the league, going away from home to one of the best teams in the league, you know, that are renowned for playing out through the sort of from the goalkeeper all the way through. So I think you know, he deserved. I really enjoyed the game, and I was really impressed by the tactics, and they worked as well, which was great. And I think it gives the players massive confidence as well to see a manager having that much belief in his players, that you're bottom of the league and he's thinking we ain't sitting back, you know, because a lot of times, you know, I've played against teams that are bottom of the league, and a lot of the times and they just sit back and drop right off you on the edge of the box and defend for their lives type of thing and hope to nick something. And that's you know, the manager ain't set up once like that. It's been, look at, we're going out to win this game. And I think it's sort of, you can see that in the players, the way they've got that energy in them. You can see the way great shape and pressing high up the pitch all the time. We seem to have a bit of a, you know, a bit of buzz about us at the minute, which is great.
Of course, looking ahead to the game on Saturday, just how big is this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously massive. Of just speaking to the press and that, it's one of the biggest games in a long time. So it's yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I wasn't feeling that pressure till I come in and done the press. So it's you know, listen, it's a derby, and you know how much it means to people. But again, as I say, they have so much to play for. They're like ourselves, we've everything to play for. You know, we're fighting for our lives. They've been fighting for the last few years to get promoted, in a sense of not really getting close, to be honest with you. They ain't made a playoffs or nothing, but this year they've put themselves into a good position in a sense now. But they have everything to play for as well, like ourselves. As I say, we're fighting for our lives. So I think you'll probably see two teams on Saturday that are pretty desperate, you know, be going out all out to try and win the game.
Personally, how much do you enjoy being involved in games like these? Yeah,
it's great, you know. As I say, for me personally, it's what keeps you playing is the sort of big games. Always, you know, big games you can't beat as a player to play, and you know, when everything's on the line and big crowds, and you know, the game draws a big crowd toward. There's nothing better, you know, sort of going out and, you know, trying to do the best for your team. This is what it's all about as a player, and especially at my age and my stage in my career. These are the games you want all the time, you know. It's great.
Do you think it could be a good time to play Mansfield with that optimism around Notts at the moment, and Mansfield having slipped up a couple of times?
I've got to be totally honest with you, you know, I ain't really looked at Mansfield, to be honest with you. I've just been all focused on us, and even today, you know, I know the quality of player. They have a lot of quality players in their team, and I ain't gonna disrespect them. And again, form goes totally out the window when it comes to derbies and that. It's forgotten about. It's, you know, both teams they know they're carrying they're taking 4,000, and you know what it means as a player. You play with that pressure of, you know, coming to an opposition's ground, carrying a big crowd. It's all to play for. But I just think for us personally, you know, the way we are the last couple of weeks, we've just worried about ourselves and make sure as long as we perform, that's the most important thing, you know, whether you win, lose or draw, as long as you can walk off the pitch and think, yeah, we had a go today, you know, we played well, but whatever, we won, great, we didn't, but we had a go. That's the most important thing, and I think that's the kind of message that the manager's put into us since I've come into the club, is we're going out to have a go, and if we win, brilliant, if we don't, we've had a go. And I think it's carried on into the players.
Just finally for me, we're expecting, of course, a big crowd for the game on Saturday. What would your message to the fans be?
Just, you know, again, last week down at Forest Green we had 1,000 fans, I think, which was brilliant. You know, it's not the easiest ground to get to in the world, to be honest. And you know, the linking game at home, just the positivity and the passion coming from the stands was brilliant for us as players. It came onto the pitch, and I'm fortunate for us, we sort of replicated a performance that was, you know, that they're proud of, and just keep it up, and hopefully we can give you again a performance. And I don't even think a performance, I think in these type of games it goes out the window. It's just hopefully we can give them a result that they're happy with, to be honest with you. So yeah, there you go.